Since Mizoram is coming under the Indo-Burma biodiversity hotspot, and which is very rich resource of this northeastern region, encompassing the plants and animals together. And since this act is talking about the different kinds of the projects going to implement in the state within, you can say, the 100 kilometer from the border. And if you just look the boundary and the geography of the state, the 100 kilometer means it is going to cover the whole state. So since many, you can say, the evidences, examples, the case studies, which is already done in the country. So if I'll talk about the Chhattisgarh. So Chhattisgarh already facing a lot of the, you can say, the problem because of the Forest Act. Already this kind of the amendment, Forest Amendment Act, which is implemented in the Chhattisgarh also, which has created a lot of the problems. And the people, if you remember, the Indians, they remember about the Chipko movement. That kind of the situation, it is arising in the Chhattisgarh. The people, the tribal people, the local communities, they're holding the trees just like, you can say, means they're loving their, like the parents, children, like that. Means they're trying to save that forest because, you know, in these tribal states, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Mizoram, including the whole Northeast, this forest is the one of the key, you can say, the source for survival. And if this kind of the act, if it is implementing in the state, it is going to harm not only the social status, it is going to harm whatever we used to call the Indo-Burma biodiversity hotspot, which is rich in the flora and fauna. And this particular Forest Conservation Amendment Act 2023, it is totally targeting to some kind of the specific groups. Just like, I think you heard about that in Bihar. You can Google it also. It is in Bhagalpur, Bihar. Adani Group got 1,000 acre land by a cost of 1 rupees per acre. Can you imagine how it is possible? On which ground that industry group got 1 acre land of 1 rupees? On which cost? So if this kind of the amendment, if it is passing and going to implement in the state, which is showing that, you can say, the strategic projects within 100 kilometer of international borders. So surely, I'm sure, this kind of the project, tomorrow it will come to the public of Mizoram. The border exemption clause. Under this, you can say, the border exemption clause, like what they mentioned, the strategic projects within the 100 kilometers of international borders. Under that, if suppose I can say, like the road construction, military installation, and infrastructure. In that infrastructure, road construction, okay, I can say okay. Military installation, okay, since border state, okay. But infrastructure, what infrastructure? So this act, it is not highlighted, it is not, you can say, showing infrastructure means what infrastructure. So the act is here showing some hidden, you can say, the agenda on the name of infrastructure. So it may be 1 rupees, means per acre 1 rupee, just like Adani in the Bihar. So we don't know. It may be that kind of the hidden things in this project on the name of the project. So let this amendment clearly indicate what kind of the project it is going to implement in this Forest Act. Okay. Another point, if I say, then this particular, you can say, the projects, if going to implement, then it is totally risking. What kind of the risk is there? Deforestation and displacement of the local communities. Means any, you can say, the place, they can, whatever the tribal, you can say, the tribal, the habitat is there, they can displace it. they can, you can say, remove that, you can say, particular, you can say, the residential area, and they, on the name of the project or the name of the any construction, they can remove it. Okay? And whatever we are talking about, the different kinds of, you can say, the plantation, which is very rich. Okay? And if they're going to cut, means the deforestation. So being, you can say, like the plant scientist, we can say like the RET, R-E-T, rare, endangered, and threatened. That kind of the species, which is very important and very specific to this region, is going to lost. This diversity is still, it is not explored too much, I can say, Mizoram specifically. So we need to explore more, because we don't know what kind of the flora and fauna is still in the forest of the Mizoram. So if this project is implementing, so totally deforestation, so many, you can say, the animals and the forest, means you can say the plants, starting from the lower to the higher plants, it will be also lost. Then second point, I can say, erosion of Article 371G protections. So Article 371G of the Constitution protects Mizoram from automatic application of the central laws relating to land ownership and transfer unless the state assembly approves them. So since if the force of the, you can say, the central, so state have the right to look it whether it is going in the positive way or the negative way. If some, you can say, the benefits, you can say like, I don't know, it's because the people become sometimes selfish also because of the political nature or anything, okay? So this kind of the things, state have the authority to look at whether this land ownership and the transfer, unless the state assembly, okay? So state assembly, those who in the power and those who in the opposition, they have to look at in the very proper way, whether it is going to impact in the, if it is positive way, then okay, go ahead. But if it is negative way and means you're going to give the negative impact to the, you can say, the mass of the people, then this kind of the act, in my opinion, it is not good.